I've been waiting years to wear this, and I don't think I've worn it yet. It's like, I gotta. It's like a full on. Oh no, my microphone's been acting up. And so, come on back, girl, come on back. But it's it's an Aries full moon, so I figured 80s queen, Libra hair, shoulder pads. I had to have the ram side. It's gonna be fun. I want you to express yourself. We're gonna talk about that later, but welcome everyone. If this is your first time here, my name is Sarah. This is my multidimensional cafe. I'm so grateful for YouTube because it really teaches people how quantum and multidimensional you really are. This is just you and I having coffee and tea. We're really talking about today. It's going to be the full moon in Aries coming up at 24 degrees, and we're transcending time and space, which is really cool. Like, when are you and where are you? It's the day after the eclipse. It's Thursday the 3rd as I record this, and I'm in an East Coast island town in Massachusetts. It's good stuff. Having some espresso today. I have some water. It's sometime between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. and I've already gone to the gym. I've done my exercises for today. And I'm very excited about this talk. It's very aligned to what I've been going through, and I feel as though it's really going to resonate for a lot of people. We just finished eclipse season. We just finished our last eclipse season of 2024, and we're going to be, we haven't been able to classically manifest as leaders since the 2nd of September because we haven't had a classic full new moon since then. So right now, what I would love for you to entertain, and we'll go over it, but I'm just going to plant the seed. I want you to plant some 6 to 7 month goals. This full moon is in Aries at 24 degrees, and the full moon in Libra that is in April 2025 is at 25 degrees. So right now, the sun is going to be at 24 degrees Libra, while the moon is at 24 degrees Aries. We'll go over this. I'll go over all of this. And then in April of next year, complete opposite. So it'll be an ending of that cycle. So although this is a full moon, and although we're not supposed to manifest around full moons, we're going to be releasing, we're really going to be stepping into radical self-acceptance, as the title of the video states. And so see where you want to be around that time, March, April 2025. And then during this full moon, since it's in the first house of self on the general wheel, you let go of everything that isn't that, everything that's not that. You step into your full self. I'm excited about this. So let's pause the video. If you want to grab your journal, your coffee, your tea, and some water. Okay, so these are older than you are. These came from a little Christmas Halloween light string, like literally from the 80s. You can tell he's been through it. And after the lights died, I ripped them all out. So I have them all over the house. But they're so we use this for the pause. I'm holding it like a Sammy. It's like, pause the video, go grab your journal, coffee, tea, or water. So Aries of me. So Aries of me. Okay. So there's so much to talk about. I have no idea where to begin. We're going to start with the dates and the times of this full moon. I want to start putting out these videos a little bit on the earlier side. I feel as though, for me, I had been doing it like a week in advance, but I'll probably post it this week. It's 2 weeks in advance, just because I want you to have something to look towards and to know that, I always start at the end goal. So it's like, okay, I know around this time I'm going to be releasing in the house of self. I know that I'm going to be maybe shown something that I was not privy to. I know that, the sun is going to be transiting the house of relationships. And the more I step into my sovereignty, people might just fall out of my life. So I'm going to utilize this energy. But if I know that that's coming in 2 weeks, I can prepare myself now. I can do certain things now. And I like to have the forecast. So if I like to have that, I'm guessing that other people might want to have that as well. And if you don't, then just watch it, when it gets closer to the actual day. So let's 6 months goals. I'm just gonna radical self-acceptance. Okie dokie. Eastern Standard Time. This is happening on the 17th of October at 7:26. Gold Coast, 17th of October, 21:26. Melb, 17th of October, 22:26. It's a little bit later. And Central Standard Time, the 17th of October, 6:26. The note that I wrote down is walking towards something and walking away from something are two wildly different vibes, two wildly different vibrations. And so I'm also going to reference the tarot cards that represent, the minor tarot cards that represent this decan of the astrological wheel. And okay, so those are the dates. I'm going to, offer a big brushstroke. I don't know if I've mentioned this. Is my third time attempting to record it. So I'm going to put the link to a podcast episode that is obviously Lewis House, The School of Greatness, and Rory from a few years ago. And I've been listening to it. Rory's talk at the Summit of Greatness really, really resonated. And so I've been working on my, personal brand. I've been working on what is my personal brand? How can I be as helpful to the most people possible and get my information, get my message to the right people? And so for a long time, for the last season of my life, I'd been using the term channeler. A while ago, I was using the term spiritual counselor. And then I kind of pulled away and I went more into my woo and woo-woo, pardon me. And I just love the term woo. I went into my woo and I was channeling and doing all of that, but I don't feel as though that fully encompasses what I do. I don't know if I've said this yet. I've recorded this 3 times, but I only have 2 channeled messages a month on my YouTube. And a lot of this is about radical self-acceptance. There was a few in that podcast episode, there's a few questions that you're going to ask yourself. And one of them is, what have you earned the right to talk about? And I don't know about you, but in the past eclipse cycle, since the full moon eclipse in Pisces and the new moon eclipse, that is for me yesterday in this quantum world, beautiful things just fell into place. Beautiful things. But then the other side, where I was like, oh, I'm the problem? It's me? I was the one. I create my own life and reality, and everything that I've ever complained about is actually just manifesting more things to complain about. And I am the common denominator. No. And just so when that question came up, what have I earned the right to talk about? For me, radical self-acceptance. Radical self-acceptance. It's, I've talked about this in my, Waking Up Post-Woke series and all of these different ways, that I am the first one to tell you. I was the first one in corporate, in managing teams, guiding people all the time, wherever I have been in my life. I'm the first person to say, I was wrong, I messed up, I don't have the answer to that question. We speak from I statements around here. And so if you saw me even 3-4 years ago, an unrecognizable version of myself. When I radically accepted myself and every little bit of my life, and I just, like an Aries, just cried it out in the bathroom, slapped myself a few times across the face. No joke. That's the Aries way. And moved along with my life. Things changed really quick. And so there were some deeper rooted things that, just like eclipses are like when your soul has gone off course, it's going to smash you back on track. This was a little bit about really stepping into my adulthood. Like I can be very ostentatious, but I'm aware that what I'm preaching and teaching is very factual and can be very helpful for a lot of people. So that's not egoic. My intention is to be of service. My intention is to offer you very accessible tools to help yourself. One thing that I really recognize during this next coming season of life is that I'm really open for new clients to find me, for people that are really ready to help themselves. Like, I can't even tell you, I have a few people that I email back and forth with that I'm so honored to work with people that are ready to help themselves. This is tough stuff. This is deep work. And I know that I move very quickly. I know that, my intention is to be helpful and to offer sacred space. But it takes a lot to do this work. It takes a lot of radical self-acceptance to do this work. And so going into this next season of life, I think, since I've already mentioned it, why don't we call it the next 6 months? And if you're new here, my guides show me images over here, and then I have a few other screens. I am still a channel. I do spiritual counseling, but it's like I got many screens open. And so if I ever stare off into the TISM world, that's what's going on there. And so what my guides are saying is that as human beings, and a lot of you already know this, as human beings, we feel the energy of the astrology. And so and I speak of this in my self-mastery program. So if you're interested in that self-mastery program, it's a 6-chapter, 6-week course, if you will, but the link for that is below, which is really decide what energy in the external and internal you've given power to that you will entertain. Astrology for me is non-negotiable. It's the same way that I can't say to the beach, that's cute that you're high tide right now. I don't believe that. So I'm going to show up and barbecue anyways. It's just not the way. It's just not the way. But, having... It's like, I'm trying to think of what we cannot entertain. I went for a walk with a dear friend and light worker the other day, and we were talking about going into the winter months and how we're, putting together some in-person offerings, some group offerings for people where we can go for a walk in the woods once a month and kind of beat that winter blues. And both of us in, past seasons of our lives have really given the power away to the seasons and said, we, are depressed, or we are this, instead of, I'm experiencing something. We're just overcomplicated houseplants. So if I get myself out and about with some fresh air, give myself some water and some sunshine, regardless of how chilly it is, just get some boots and a jacket and go out there and, move your body, and you'll be okay, and be amongst other people, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. So it's not so much I am depressed, it's I'm experiencing some human depression and I need to do something about it. And I need to do something. So wildly different languages. Walking towards something, health and wellness, is different than walking away from something and being like, I'm running from the dragon, if you will. I think that that's making sense. I'll listen to my guides. Okay, we're going to get into the astrology. I'm going to clear, I just have some sage here, so I'm going to clear the space super duper quick, because it's, we haven't been in a fire season since Leo season, so it's nice to have a little bit of space in the air. It's nice. It's nice. Smells so good. Okay. And so I just I might make another board soon. She's fallen apart. Okay, so I already gave the dates. We're gonna start outward and work our way in. There's really only one aspect that I'm concerned with, aside from the moon itself. So we've got the sun over here in Libra at 24 degrees, and then we're going to have the moon over here in Aries at 24 degrees. I'm just going to move your chair super quick. Over here. So what do we already know about full moons? It's when the sun and the moon are in complete opposition. We all become the werewolf. We're wild, we're crazy, we're cuckoo pants. This is the perfect time to do some inner teenager and adolescent work. This is some perfect times to howl at the moon, to celebrate a completed cycle. Find out exactly where 24 degrees of Aries falls in your birth chart. I have a full astrological starter kit. The link is below if you're interested in really like a whole little package of Sarah helping you out and holding your hand as you do some work to figure out your own birth chart. You can actually just like DuckDuckGo free birth chart, and you just need the time of your birth. You can also do this for your company, the birth of your company. Definitely find out where this is happening in your company as well, because it's going to be a little bit of like a, not every client is for you type of a thing. So, where's the, oh, buddy, where'd you go? Oh, there we go. Didn't realize I did that, pardon me. So I'll just put down the key players that are also in Aries. We have Chiron in Aries over here at 21 degrees retrograde. So it's a wide conjunction, but I'm not entertaining it really, myself personally. I mean, usually do like a less than a 1 degree orb for a conjunction for me. But this is, I'll put down the North Node, South Node. We're at like 5 degrees over here. That's exciting. I also have Lilith in Libra at 12 degrees. I think that's it. And that's it. We'll talk about all those later. But these are only players that are in Aries and Libra. And so on the general astrological wheel, Aries is the first house and Libra is the seventh. Self relationships, the storefront view of my life, the important people, the people that I surround myself with over here. So we just had that new moon in Libra. That video was called Soul Fam. So although we weren't really like classically manifesting, there might have been people that just popped up into your life, or people that popped back into your life, or people that you didn't expect that were kind of like in your periph that like became like, I have a coffee date with you now? What is going on? That's so exciting. I know a lot of people have been really working towards soul partnerships right now, which is very, very exciting. The tarot really validates that for you. And so be open to new people coming in, be open to new opportunities. But you gotta be your full self. You gotta be your full self. Where, say you're dating right now, or you're open to meeting your partner. I'm listening to my guides. And, you know, you're on the first few dates and you're really getting to know each other. Talking about your expectations does not push away the right person for you. What do you mean by that, Sarah? Talking about, yeah, I'm really dating to have a serious partnership. I'm excited about meeting someone that I get to have babies with. I'm excited about dating to marry. I'm excited about that. That's not telling the person, it's you and I need you to propose today. That's saying, these are my expectations. This is what I'm looking for, and gives that person the opportunity to be like, that's not for me. I'm just looking to have fun. I'm just, whatever it may be. But it's not putting the expectations on that person. It's saying, to enter this vibration, this is what I'm looking for. I'd rather you be very open in the beginning than in any way saying like, let's just have coffee. Let's just, no ma'am, no sir, absolutely not. We'll include Chiron in the mix over here. Chiron's our wounded healer, our wounded warrior. Jesus God, Gen X is going through it. And I'm going to put the link for that below. I have a whole video on Gen X is waking up, whether they like it or not. These eclipses were falling directly on their Pluto, as well as, their natal Chiron is in Aries. They're having a Chiron return right now, which is every 50, 51 years. People call that a what's it called, a midlife crisis. So if you know an awakened Gen Xer right now, just send them cookies or flowers and just be like, hey, thank you. You're just healing generational curses for your whole collective. Yeah, they're feeling it right now. They're feeling it. So offer them some, just like a pat on the back. Yeah, and maybe just like say if you need someone to listen to you, I can do that. I can do that. Starting in November, it's going to be on a Tuesday. I want to say it's going to be either the 5th or the 12th. I'm going to be offering a Zoom meeting for intuitive listening, to learn about intuitive listening and how to hold space for people. These are going to be for people that, you know, either work with the public or are interested in holding space for others, or for turning a lot of what they've experienced as traumatic into a little bit more of a practice, if you will. So that's going to be on Tuesdays. It's going to be, I'm guessing, around 11, because I want to be able to make it accessible for my West Coasters as well. And so I'll have more information on that, but please just send me an email if you are interested, and then I could get you up to date as soon as possible. So I have a whole video on the North Node and the South Node in Aries and Libra. I also have a whole video in the toolbox called Relationships Are Drastically Changing. This eclipse portal really, I mean, it has to do with the nodes, obviously, but a lot of relationships ended. A lot of relationships ended. And for people that are on different timelines, this is why I want you to stay focused on what you're working towards, are having a little bit of a flounder right now. If you do not have the I statement language, if you cannot speak from I statements and say, oh, this is my role in it, and I want to be better than I was yesterday and not do that again. If you don't have that language, this is very intense energy. Yeah, do not engage. I was laughing to myself in Harry Potter, which is going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And so there's no judgment. I need you to really take your own Mary Poppins bag and pull up a mirror to yourself in front of the person that you have judged and say, oh, look at you not awakening in the way that I want the awakening to awaken. Look at you being unconscious. That's you. That's another version of you. So I've offered this many times before. If you see someone that you have deemed floundering or living a life that is subpar to your standards, just say thank you. Say, wow, thank you so much for taking on that soul contract. Thank you. That was really triggering to my human, and I just can't. I just can't. So thank you. Thank you. Lead with gratitude. Lead with gratitude. I'm listening to my guides. So I live in the United States, and this is a complete aside because I don't usually like to get political or, talk about, but we have a big soap opera going on, and the finale's coming up in a few months. So it's going to be exciting for a lot of people. I would love, if you're ready, if you live in the United States, I want you to go stand in the mirror. And I want you to visualize waking up the day after the presidential election. And I want you to visualize yourself looking in the mirror and saying, this person won. And then I want you to visualize yourself looking in the mirror and saying, this person won. In my perfect world, nobody wins. And we all just get along and play. So if you want to visualize that too, that would be super cool. I was just asking my guides, and they're like, go ahead, girl. You just throw a third one in there. That's absolutely fine, because it's they're not human and I am. So it's just... That's what I love about this channel and my content, is that you don't have to watch or listen. This is an active choice. And if my information doesn't resonate with you, please unsubscribe. Oh my gosh, I'm not looking to fight with you in any capacity. So yeah, I'd say offer 3 options for yourself. And I feel so blessed because it really doesn't affect my day-to-day very, very much at all. It really doesn't. And so if something's, how do I say? I don't believe that anyone is coming to help me ever. And so I live my life with that lens. We speak in lenses because I wear these beautiful big glasses. So I don't think that anyone's coming to help me, nor do I like to give external power to anyone other than myself, personally. And the eclipse portal is a whole other story. I have a whole video to record about like and I've planted seeds about it, but I went to see my shaman and healed. Not even healed is the wrong word, was given access to visuals of things that happened in my childhood that I had never been given access to before. And my instant thought was just like, forgiveness. It was just forgiveness. And I just moved on. I haven't even spoken it in specificity to a human being, nor do I plan on it. All I care about is walking towards health and helping others find acceptance with, unspecific, maybe past life sexualizations, childhood traumas, and help you just walk towards health and the light. So I have a whole video to record on that. It's deep. Because that's the micro to the macro of what's happening on like the world stage. Whereas I'm going to put the link to where we can get stuck in our awakening as a seed planted. If what I'm saying resonates with you, because we just can't sit there and say, this happened to me and this happened to me and this happened to me. I have every right to do that. But it would stunt me in this moment and I would never evolve. Yeah. Oh, it's right there. It's right on the other side of the street. It's as effortless as breathing. But now, just like I said at the eclipse portal, I've been telling this story and attaching myself to it. It's my fault. Yeah, Sarah, it is. You're 37. Move along. Okie dokie. So let's continue. This is so exciting. So at the time of this full moon in Aries, I keep wanting to say eclipse, but it's not. We're going to have Pluto direct at 29 degrees. This is so exciting. Pluto's literally going to go into Aquarius next month in November. It will never be in Capricorn again. We're in the literal home stretch of that, and it's direct. This is beautiful. Final push. Final lap. We have Jupiter over here, which is at 21 degrees of Gemini, retrograde. Jupiter goes retrograde on the 9th of October, and Pluto goes direct on the 11th of October. That hasn't happened. This is a super quantum channel because it hasn't happened yet in my human life, but it's going to happen next week, so I'm excited about those things. We have the one aspect that I'm concerned with, because it's by degree, is going to be... Yes, so the second that the sun and the moon are in opposition of each other, we're going to have Venus in Scorpio at 29 degrees. Later on this same day, in a few hours, it could be the next day for Melbourne, the Gold Coast. I'm not sure the exact time that it goes in, but it's at 29 degrees, and then it goes into Sag energy. So that's that sextile between Pluto and Venus. Pluto in our last degrees of our house of legacy, public life and career, and Venus in the last degrees of deep transformation, death, and rebirth. I'm asking my guides something. If sometimes my guides really have harsher messages, and sometimes like I move quickly. So why would you want to not be your full self? Full moon in Aries. Because the people that are around you, you're lying to them by omission, by not being your full self. Yeah, if they don't know who you are, or if you ever have that moment of like, your butt purses, your mouth purses up like a butt, holding in a fart, let the fart out. Let it out. Like, express yourself. Express your opinions and your belief systems and your values, because that doesn't take away from me. You know, there's nothing you can say here about yourself that affects me. Truly. No pointing fingers. We speak from I statements around here. So your reality has absolutely nothing to do with mine. If we say to ourselves, like, oh, if they knew how I felt about this, I don't think that they'd want me around, then they're not meant for you. Then they're not meant for you. So this deep transformation, Pluto, in the last degrees of public life and legacy, and then Venus in Scorpio in the last degrees of deep, dark transformation, I also feel with Venus going into Sag and this full moon in Aries, a lot of people are going to be like showing up. New vibes, new piercings, new everything, new fits, new haircuts, new like, you're going to see a lot of content creators. Who was it? Spiritual counselors, people, it's Chiron, showing up in brand new ways. You're going to see a lot of new offerings. You're just going to see people that maybe, this is just coming to me now. If, as I'm saying this, like, you're going to see a lot of people maybe from your hometown, or people that, I'm trying to paint this picture in the right way, and they're just giving, it's like people that you see on your Instagram. Okay, so for me, I'll speak for my statements. My Instagram is more people that I've known personally in my life, and my YouTube is more people that I have not yet met, by majority. And so the first time that I was channeling, the first time that I was doing all of these things, the people on my Instagram, they were like, what? You used to be my cafe manager. Now you're channeling and rolling around in paint. Okay. But then the more they stick around, like, oh, you're making sense. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm going through. Oh yeah, that's exactly what's happening. The people that aren't supposed to be there, they just unfollow. They just unsubscribe. Oh, I gotta put my foot down. Pardon me. I'm all antsy in my pantsy. It's all coffee and stuff and the excitement of the channel. So you might start to see people in your hometown. Oh, I love the way the guides wrap things up with a bow for me. Have a similar language as you. People that are around you, that you can get together for coffee, that you can, start community meetups, like the walks that's going to be started in the next month or so. And, I'm doing Zooms. I'm going to do New Moon Zooms, and there was another one, Monday Lives as well. So I'm going to have tons of Sarah coming at you. Like, you'll have many options. I'm very excited for that. Free options, paid options, all sorts of things. And Monday's going to be like coffee talk, Q&A and stuff like that. I'll start with a tarot reading because that's how I'll tap in if nobody's there. But please ask your questions and things like that. But that'll be on Mondays. It's either going to start on the 7th or the 14th. Not sure which yet. I have a meeting early on the 7th, so it depends on that meeting. It's authentic. Okay, I'm just going to put all the planets down right now. So we have Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees. We have Mercury in Scorpio at 5 degrees. We have Mars in Cancer at 22 degrees. Uranus in Taurus, 26 degrees retrograde. Saturn in Pisces, 13 degrees retrograde. Retrograde Saturn, retrograde Neptune, retrograde Uranus, retrograde Jupiter, retrograde Chiron. Lilith never moves backwards. The South Node and the North Node are always moving backwards. I think we got it. There was a day that I mentioned in my October 2024 video And I'm writing about it on my blog because I find this to be really fascinating, but I was waiting for it to come up. So this is the 12th. I mentioned that Jupiter and Chiron are in a sextile between Chiron and Jupiter. And this is we're going to have 3 sextiles. And I don't remember the dates of those. So you have to go watch the October 2024 video. It's called The Depths. And so if you're interested in that, but on the 13th, the Sunday before this full moon, so I'm backing it up, we're going to have the Sun in opposition of Chiron, the Sun trining Jupiter, and then Jupiter sextiling Chiron. So there's a fabulous little dance that we have. The Sun ego, this lighthouse in the sky in our house of relationships, Jupiter retrograde in our house of communication, early learning, short trips, Gemini, the twins, information, Chiron retrograde in the beginning, the storefront view of my life. These 2 retrograde, and the Sun obviously never goes retrograde. So that says to me, when it just the lens of Jupiter and Chiron sextiling each other, we can do something. We have something to offer. We can be helpful for this new and ever-changing world. You have a specific, intricate thing, your niche that the world just needs. You beautiful little flower. You've got something. You've got something to offer. You've got something to offer. And the Sun in opposition of that Chiron, but trining, beautiful yes energy. This is free-flowing energy. This is like your yes friend. Do it. Do it. If you're a little triggered, if you were a little bit triggered by me saying that like someone in your, hometown life is going to, put out a spiritual counseling or, a tarot reading or something, if you got triggered, if there was something that's like, I wish I could do that, then my guy, do it. Do it. This is Aries energy. This is the infant baby ram. You do it, you don't read the instructions, and you just like judge yourself later on, but you just post it. You just post it. You just do it. Truly. I've posted some messed up things in this world. I've been down go watch my Waking Up Post-Woke series if you need to see like some radical self-acceptance, because it doesn't matter what you've done in your past. It doesn't. If you accept it, how do I say? Every single thing that I've gone through makes me better at what I do. Every single thing. I'm an exploratory, experiential learner, do shamanic work, and I'm a mystic that's gone down every single rabbit hole. So I can come back to say, hey, you want to do that? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is what it'll feel like, and this is what will happen. But if you want to do it, go for it. Go for it. But I've been in the depths of relationships with, narcissistic, verbally abusing people. I've been in polyamorous relationships. I've been they, them before. I've been fairy before, like literally, I've been there. I've been there. So I can speak to it from an I statement. It's not a judgment about what you're in. I have been there. So it's not always about the placards and the, Jupiter in Gemini, Venus going into Sag. It's not so much about how many certifications you have or how many, how do I want to say, degrees you have. If you've gone through something and you've come back to tell the tale, there's somebody that is in the midst of that experience and could use your guidance. I'm not kidding. Every single one of you watching this has something to offer this ever-changing world. And you're worthy of it. You're worthy of helping others. It's kind of like that phrase, like, be who you needed when you were younger. Yeah, let that younger version of you. This is so quantum. I hope I can really relay this. So the only reason that we got through, okay, I'll speak from my statements and then I'll let it resonate with you. So when I was in the depths of my own disgusting issues, like October for me has been in the past some of my most traumatic months. And the only reason that I got through it is because of the love that I've sent that version of myself from this sacred space. that I've sat in meditation, be like, you're not alone. I love you. I forgive you. I accept you. You did the best you could with the tools that you had, Sarah. You are doing great. Yeah. Same with you. Same with you. Give yourself a pat on the back. Send yourself some love. Your past self, your current self, your future self. And just say, I am worthy. This is a perfect time to release shame. This would be a really great time to release shame. I have a few videos to record, just some like, not guided meditations, but like some inspirational videos. And I'm going to do one on shame. I feel like that could be really helpful. Let's see. Do I have everybody up? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you the 2 tarot cards that represent this decan of the astrological wheel. I'm going to do the minor arcana only, not the major arcana. And if you're interested in more information, my Tarot Essential program is for you. If you've been pulling tarot cards, if you've really been integrating that practice into your daily life, the link for that is below in my digital products. And please go check out my website. And like, I have an FAQ page, tons of information on my website. I've really put most of my information on the website. So this is where the sun is in the sky. This represents 20 to 29, 30 degrees of Libra over here. So this is rest, recuperation. This is a pause. You know, he's laid down his sword. He looks like he's in a sanctuary of some kind, whatever it means to you. And he's just taking a pause. He's just like making himself feel better. So it's good. After the 2 of Swords and the 3 of Swords that we've gone through, this is nice. This is like radical self-acceptance to me. Just saying, I don't have to rush. I don't have to move along unless it's a resounding yes. Really, we know what a no feels like and we know what a yes feels like. So in the in-between, just work on yourself. Just work on yourself. And this is where the full moon is. This represents 20 to 29, 30 degrees of Aries. I just listen to the gulls. They're just so beautiful. Or, you know, they're far away from town. They're celebrating under the 4 wands, under this banister. They trust God to have a bright, shining day for them. This could be a wedding. This could be a ceremony. This could be any sort of celebration. Any celebration you'd like it to be. It's beautiful, isn't it? Just like you. This isn't for everyone, but you know, finding out what your love language is important. And also understanding that physical touch, like healthy physical touch, is very, very sacred. And I want you to ask yourself if there's someone in your life, if you're not in a divine partnership. If you're in a divine partnership, I would ask your partner for this. I want you guys and gals to get a good hug. Get a really good hug in. The guides and the angels, I'm just seeing them like wrapping their arms around you and just wanting to hold you. And so I would love for you to ask someone in your life, like, I really need a hug. You know, a few years ago when I was just coming out of some really odd sexualizations, and I was, you know, in between 2 paradigms, I was really in a weird spot. There was only a few people that I would allow to touch me. And so I would, you know, go to my restaurant job, a few very, very kind and compassionate gentlemen. They'd be like, hey, I really just need like a safe hug. They'd be like, girl, come in. Not like a, ooh, none of that. Just a really safe hug. Heart to heart. Just be in it. Just be in it. I love giving hugs. It's one of my favorite. Physical touch is one of my top love languages, and gift giving as well. Like, So when I get a good hug, good healthy hug, I just like swan dive into that baby. I just am like, not letting go of you. You're here. You're safe on my bosom. All's well. All's well. Expect the unexpected, especially for my US citizens right now. I'm just asking the guys if there's anything else that they'd like to incorporate into this video. This is shorter than a lot of my others, but I'm happy with that. That's fine. Really expect the unexpected and prepare yourself in a way that, I talk about this all the time. Do whatever you need to do to prevent fear. Maybe have some food in the house. Maybe have water in the house. Do your thing. I put having a little gas grill on my list of things that I'm really manifesting right now, because that would be really cool to have that. So it's like you have a way to, in the wintertime, Sarah, cook food if anything was to go wrong. And so that's what I'm manifesting right now. I'm excited for the day that comes. And so, you know, Ann Tucker has spoken of this. She's an angel channeler. I absolutely love and respect her work. She's like, have a life straw. Have a way to filter water. I have one in the pantry. And it's just, it's not there. And I don't stare at it every day being like, when's it going to happen? What's going to happen? I just have it for in cases. So that especially with this the intensity of the astrology for November 2024 is just like, I think that's season ahead. I was going to call this video casual, but it's radical self-acceptance. And I think that Scorpio season is going to be called casual, because it's like Mars opposite Pluto. Casual. Yeah, Pluto going back into Aquarius for the last time. New moon's in Scorpio. Yeah, Mars and Leo. It's casual. So okay. Don't engage. Just prepare yourself for unexpected realities. Prepare yourself for a, what? I didn't think that was going to happen. It's a soap opera. It is. When we recognize, and okay, this is perfect. My guides are saying this. Where have you said, I create my own reality with my thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. I am conscious as having this human experience. We're living in a third dimensional matrix that I create with my thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. Oh, but that's real. Oh, but that's real. Like, there are times that I've been walking home at night from my restaurant job where I'm just like looking up at the stars and I'm like, wow, this is a matrix reality. This is literally a video game. I was just full on in presence, and I was, experiencing all these human emotions. And wow, this is literally a video game. It's a beautiful video game. It's really nice. But it's like living in Pleasantville. I live on Pleasant Street. I know. But it's wild. We can get so addicted to a life that we don't even like, that we don't even want. This is Dr. Joe Dispenza language, because we don't recognize that we're not our human. We are the consciousness, the awareness of this human experience, but not our human. I think that's it. I think we've gone quantum enough. What I love about the astrology is that it's never ending. And it's a beautiful way to manifest and release, and manifest and release, and manifest and release, and utilize, co-create with the God of our understanding. You are God having a human experience, and there is source energy outside of yourself. So chit-chat. We're mostly water, just like the tides. Don't fight with the tides. Don't go to the beach and say, tide, you didn't do what I wanted you to do. Just go to the beach at low tide. Just celebrate around a full moon and then manifest on a new moon. 2 days a month. That's it. In my self-mastery program, which is fundamental metaphysical practices for leaders and entrepreneurs, the link for that program is below. We talk about that. Minimum 2 days a month that we get to manifest or release. That's it. That's the full moon and the new moon. That's it. You don't have to spend all your time in the woo. You don't have to spend all your time, in your Rocky montage. That's your life anyways. Do whatever you want with it. But twice a month, you get an opportunity to release full moon and manifest new moon. The eclipses, I talk about it in the mastery program. I'm not going to get into it. What questions do you have for me? How are you experiencing this? I know you're like, Sarah, you're telling me not to manifest, but then you're telling me to set 6 months goals. You know that in 6 to 7 months, the sun and the moon are going to be in complete opposition to where they are right now. That's a cycle. So look forward to that. Yeah. And the sun's going to go through all of these exciting houses and then come right over here. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Radical change. But radical change mixed with radical self-acceptance births a new paradigm. That's it. That's all I got for you. I love you. What questions do you have for me? How are you doing after the eclipse? What can I offer you? What big questions? So the 2 questions that have been asked before the eclipse, I'm sorry, I'm just getting to them now, were about how to connect with more past lives and talking more about death again and a little bit of an update. I have 2 videos on death that I recorded last year, but so many people are, actively leaving the planet. So I want to offer a little bit more validation for people that are going through that and a little bit like why this is going on. So those are 2 videos that I have to record. I recorded a while ago one of them about connecting to other past lives, but I was literally like in too many different universes and it was a little bit too channely. I might just go back and watch. I don't think there's enough. It's literally me like, this is what you do. But we'll see. But those are the 2 videos that have been, subscribers asking questions. So those are 2 that I have on the docket. And the one about that shamanic session and how we have to just accept situations and not be like, well, I'm going to come after you and just move along with our lives. So those are the 3 that I have on the docket. What other questions do you have for me for this next season? What are you working towards? What are you working on? What are you interested in? And how can I best be of service? How can I best support you during this time period? I have Monday Q&As, tarot readings, just coffee talks, lives, new moon Zooms, and intuitive listing Zoom meetings as well coming up. So, and all signs reading for the season. So I'll start on Scorpio season. It's going to be good. I think that's it. Bye. Love you.